I'd like to invite Professor Zhaozhong Feng, Nanjing University of Information Science and Technology. His research interest is focusing on the air pollution and climate change impacts on forest and cropland ecosystem functions and services. And using open-top chambers and free air concentration elevation systems, he is investigating the short-term and long-term effects of rising ozone, warming and planting management on crop yields, grain quality, below-ground ecological processes in lice with less rotation ecosystems, especially for interaction of plants and the soil atmosphere. So he's an expert on the ozone effects on plants. So now the floor is yours, Professor Feng.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Sansin, introduction. Good morning and good afternoon. So today my topic is effects of ozone on crop production in Asia. Now, first I would like to show what the trend was surfing the ozone concentration at the global scale. So you can see the left these pictures show the ozone concentration trend in North America, in Europe, and in East Asia. You can see this is a blue, dark green. The dark green showed no change from 2000 to 2014 year. And you can see blue, the blue color, blue arrow showed the decrease trace, and the red, increase trend. So for North America, you can see most places showed the decrease trend, but Europe is most in no change or decrease. But some in the southern part showed, and the northern showed, some places showed increase, ozone increase trend. However, in East Asia, you can see most places are dominated by the increase, ozone increasing. If we see here the change, the change trend, you can see from 2000 to 2014, you can see this is North American trend. So they show the decrease significantly. For the Europe, you can see fluctuate, but still showed a slightly decrease. But in East Asia, you can show very strong increase, especially for after 2012 here. So there are much increase. So, but anyway, even though increase in US and Europe, but we can see the average, the maximum 8 hours concentration during the season, April to September. You can see the Europe based on the more than 1,400 sites. The average ozone concentration is 14.3 ppb. For United States, the average is 47 ppb. But in East Asia, you can see for China it's 50 ppb, but Japan is 46 ppb. So you can see even though USA and Europe show the decrease trend, but the average is still high. It's more than 40 ppb. So, and Japan, also China is very high, say, okay. So this now you can see the surface ozone in China. If we specify in China, you can see the ozone concentration increase, 5% per year. If we change to the 2.4 ppb per year increase on concentration. If you can see the red picture, so AOT 40. So that means the accumulation of all the ozone concentration over 40 ppb, the accumulation, can reach the threshold, then induce the negative effects on plants. So LT40 is much more important for plants, for ecosystem level. So LT40, you can see the change. So per year, 14% increase. That means in China, the ozone increase was mainly due to the high value, the maximum value increase. And also, ozone concentration, they have the seasonal variations. You can see the ozone concentration has a seasonal variation. Usually, high ozone concentration occurs in April to September. So this April to September is overlapping with the main crop growth season. So that means the high ozone concentration will be a negative effect on the crops production. So here I show some ozone symptoms in horticultural plants. First is the Canova valley plants and the citrus and lava, and this is grape, the picture. And the different plants usually show the different symptom. And at the slightly symptom and serious symptom, they are different. Right? So here it shows the EDU treatment. EDU is an anti-ozonant, is only reactive with ozone. You can see the left side is we apply the EDU, but the right side only apply the water. You can see EDU improve the plant's growth, the ambient condition, and ozone, to increase the senescence of plants. I show the yellow part, the leaf, the flat leaf, the yellow part is much more, than we apply the EDU treatment. Here, this is a quantitative effect of how much ambient ozone on the rise. So we selected, 24 categories and 8 categories for each kind of rice. For Japonica, Indica, and hybrid rice. So each kind of rice, we have 8 categories. So we can see the ozone concentration increase average. If average of 24 categories, ambient ozone concentration can reduce the yield loss 16%. That means if we use EDU treatment can increase the crop yield by 19% in yield. And also the ambient, our experiment site is 46 ppb during the rice growth season, 46 ppb. So, but if we if we expand the global, you can see. So this is the author to use the simulated ozone concentration at the global scale, and the ozone concentration can reduce maize and rice, soybean, wheat, much yield loss. For wheat, the yield loss can be 7% and plus 7%. So this is based on the ozone simulation model. You can see if we concentrate in China, so we use different approach, different assess model, different approach, and different ozone data source will produce different yield loss. You can see a large difference for wheat. So 11% to 37% difference. So in wheat yield loss. And for maize, the yield loss is much less than other crops. So anyway, this is use different ozone data source and assess model. So also very interesting to see here. So you can see this line from the US. The line showed in US Cutworth US experiment. If you can see the split the points stand for the Asian plants, Asian experiment. So use the same dose, the same ozone concentration. Asian the wheat and rice cutworth are more sensitive to ozone than US. So that means so in that case we helpless. So the existing ozone risk assessment have underestimated the crop yield loss in Asia. And also the crop yield loss is better estimated by using ozone monitor data than the model outputs. So in this study, we all objective to build up the ozone dose response relationship based on the feed experiment in Asia. The second, to reassess the ozone-induced yield loss and economic loss. And the last, to assess the yield benefits of having the ozone dose. So now the first I will show the ozone dose response relationship. This is the key part for estimate ozone effects on the regional scale. So we collect all the data experiment in China, Japan, and India to build this dose response relation. We found inbred rice is much tolerant than hybrid. So hybrid rice in China much more place. If for the rice production, hybrid rice very important to provide the production. You can see, and also we assume LT40 is 15 ppm or. You can see we can get different value for inbred rice. We 19% loss, but hybrid rice is 42% yield loss. Okay. But if we use the other studies, the dose response relationship, we use also 15 ppm on. You can see from the 3% to 16%. So there were large difference, very large difference in ozone effect in the loss. And also for the wheat, we also get the data, all the field experiment from China, India, and Japan. We get the dose response relationship here. And if we assume LT40 is 15 ppm or, we can see all study is showed is average 38% reduction yield loss. If we compare with other studies, the dose response from 7% to 39%. So this is from India plants. And this is from European studies. So there is also very large difference. This is for the maize. For maize experiment, only China and India did this kind of field experiment. So we built this dose-response relationship.
Professor Feng.
Hello?
Yes. Your slide is a little bit delayed.
Oh my God.
Yes. Yes. The slides, now we can see the slide of ozone dose yield response relationship for wheat conducted in Asia.
Okay,
yes,
okay. This
thank
is
you.
Sorry, I think maybe Wi-Fi, the internet is not good. Okay, so I stop here. So you can see for maize experiment, there are only China and India. They have this kind of experiment. So if we compare with other studies, you can see there's 5% to 10 to 9% yield loss. But if we assume LT40 is 15, all studies showed 10% yield loss. So they showed with males, this study is similar. Yeah, so okay, you can see for maize experiment, we only collected only existing experiment is China and India. So you can see if we assume LT40 is 15 ppm or you can see the yield loss is 10%. But also we compare with other studies, or you can see from 5% to 9%. Okay, for the maize, the study is very close with ours. So next one. Yeah. So you hear so we collected all the site observations ozone concentration in East Asia because we want to include India, but the India the site is very few sites meet the data qualification. So here we only focus on the East Asia. China, Japan, and South Korea. So you can see from this site that totally is 3,000, more than 3,000 sites. And we collect only the latest 3 years available sites. For China, the site is 2017, 2019. And South Korea is 2016 to 2018. You can see in China, if we compare the 5 ppm or this is a European manual to show the threshold. So almost all China sites, over the 5 ppm or LT40. And you can see North China Plain here, the largest LT40 can reach 50 ppm or. And if we compare China, Japan, South Korea, from the April to September, all the size average, the LT40 is China is 31 ppm or, Japan is 17.5, South Korea is 21 ppm. So, but all these size is higher than the United States and Europe, the LT40. So that means the East Asia ozone concentration is very, very serious compared with other parts in the world. So next one. So here is the relative yield loss distribution for rice in China, Japan, and Korea. You can see for inbred rice, all 3 countries grow the inbred rice. You can see the maximum relative yield loss is in North China Plain due to the very high ozone concentration, and then to decrease toward to the northeast and southwest. And hybrid rice only is planted in the southern part of China. So you can see the very large part is still in the past, the southern, in the north or southern China part. So the relative yield hybrid rice can increase 35%. Okay, next one. For the wheat and the maize, you can see they show similar distribution, but the magnitude of the yield loss is much different. For wheat, you can see most part is the North China Plain, and the yield loss can be over 35%, because the ozone concentration is higher than the 15 ppm or. And for the maize, you can see also is a large part is the North China Plain, but the yield loss is much less than wheat. So next one. If we collect all the information, we use a clean method to estimate the different countries the yield loss. You can see for wheat, China, Japan, South Korea, China is highest. Japan, can reach 16%. South Korea is much higher than Japan. And also for rice, you can see China, you can see if we average inbred and hybrid, it's 23%. So hybrid is 30% loss. If we for maize, the magnitude is less than the rice and wheat. So next one. Okay, we based on the relative yield loss, we estimate the actual production loss. You can see for wheat, in these three countries, the ozone can induce the production loss in wheat 62 million tons, and the economic loss can reach 22 billion US dollar. If we for rice, even though rice relative yield not higher than the rice, but because the production area is much higher, so the production loss can be 63 million tons and 33 billion US dollars. But the maize, much less than the wheat and the rice. Next one. We having the LT40 to a half. You see, if we have, sorry, my internet is not stable. So if we having the LT40, you can see the wheat, rice, and maize. The fractional production can increase between 20% in China and 8% in Japan. And also for the rice, see is the production grain relative to the supply is 10% in China, 2% in Japan. So next one. So here I give a short summary. So the first is we built up we built up the Asian crop ozone dose response relationship. Then and also we found hybrid rice is much more sensitive to ozone than inbred rice, and being close to that for wheat. And also, China is the highest relative yield loss than Japan and Korea. And also, crop production can be increased by the maximum by the 20% for wheat if LT40 is reduced to a half. So that the yield is much increased. And also, we need to take actions to reduce ozone emission control, and also to take the measures to against the ozone effects on crops. Next one. Okay, so this is I just showed our study. This study we published in Nature Food this spring this year. So if you are interested, you can to check this paper. And also this is my face site and open chamber site. So welcome to join our work and to welcome to collaboration with us. Okay, thank you very much.